Hello guys, my name is Anwar Zahin and I'm going to talk about my project, Keble College Chapel, Church for Artisan. And the main program is a maker spaces. Since Gothic Revival was a means of recovering the more human method of an earlier period in the face of mechanism and change, so I tried to ask myself either we could revive the Gothic Revival as a retreat from today's industrial revolution, where disruptive technology and trends such as robotics, virtual reality, artificial intelligence are changing the way that we live and work. Based on the studies, artistic creation was the third largest contribution towards employment in UK and also economics. But somehow, through time, overall people in UK have huge percentage making art as their employment, but the economics decline through time. So it shows that architecture need to take part in this issue to solve the problem. But the funny part that the overall market buyers and potential buyers in England has increased such a remarkable percentage, especially during COVID-19. So let's talk about site analysis at Keble College and its context. Since our main target is to make makerspaces, so I've been focusing on what is the heritage landmarks around Oxford. So the idea behind it is to make use of the heritage and cultural asset for the jobs they generated, and this will enhance the quality of the places and also making a makerspaces more lively. So I decided to study on museum and also art gallery. Why they've been chosen is because they are backbone for makerspaces, which provide opportunity for the project to enhance the makerspaces function, which is to gather artists, having collaboration between artists, and also connection of museum and other sector as part of tourism strategy. It helps both social and also economics. However, we're gonna think about environmental and sustainability, which we can reuse the existing context instead of building new display area. Since Oxford is well known for their global hub for research, teaching, and learning, it is also part of our ingredient to make a very marvelous makerspaces that focusing on education as well. So knowing that the lack of capacity to research on old history and also the sculptural heritage value around the city, so I decided to make makerspaces as part of the hub that tackles the things that Oxford lack of, which is the study of the sculptural and also ornamentation. Alright, for the sun, I would say that since we all know that sun is important for makerspaces to allow light for productivity, so I decided to try to look into how to make the lights into the Keble Chapel, which is dark essentially. While this is the wind studies for the Keble Chapel areas, I think it is good to manifest the wind energy itself. And alright, I will show some building drawings and studies about the sculptural that are there at Keble College Chapel. Look at the picture. We can see that there's so much grassland at the Keble College Chapel. This is due to the fact that William Butterfield, the architect of the Keble College, wanted his architecture to be more appealing than the nature itself. So I've been thinking about wanted to use the grassland to make more nature and also blend in with the makerspaces function. Alright, so this is Keble College Chapel on the right side, which is right elevation, and there is two sculpture, which is an angel and also Saint Mary. However, we cannot see the sculpture from the ground, and this is the issue that I want to highlight. And this is the left elevation, which also having like two sculpture of Saint Peter and Saint Paul. As for this is the section XX, which portrays the interior of the Keble College Chapel. And this is section YY. As you can see that there is so much ornaments inside and outside. And see, there is so many sculpture on the outside as well, on front elevation and also on the rear elevation. And as for the plan, we can see that there is a minimal amount of furniture, and also it has colored pattern tile. And this is more like a conventional drawing for the construction. You can on the pause button to see the details. Okay, after we look into all the drawings, the interior and everything, we know that Keble College Chapel is dark and it used electricity to light up the Keble College Chapel for tourism purposes. And there is a wastage of space, which the building itself is just having one purpose, which for tourism and taking picture for Instagram. As we use electricity, it uses carbon dioxide, and we need to think about how to reduce the carbon dioxide. And that's all for the environmental studies for Keble College Chapel. So we're gonna look into the shape studies, which is important for maker spaces. So after realizing all the shapes that happen at the Keble College, I think that all the shapes come from the inner spiritual from the part of the maker itself, which is applied with the 7 lamp of architecture, which portrays the appreciation towards making. Alright, as we go deeply into making, get the sense of making, there is an inner peace when we making something, especially when we appreciate it. And this aligns with the Eightfold Path, which inspired from Buddha. They highlight on the right action and everything that is good. And that is why makerspaces is important. And I decided to select 6 things, 6 programs that need to focus on, which is the small gallery or maker workspace, storage, material recycling, material research facilities, material library, and also architecture intervention for the material recycling part. Without further ado, let's go on to the augmentation. Let's go. What is augmentation? Augmentation is the action or process of making or becoming greater in size or amount. And let's jump to the augmentation 1. So this is my case study, a canvas church with St. Peter Seminary. Since it has so many repetitive structure, it creates this kind of like empty canvas for people to put gravity on it. While the seminary has the same context with the Keble College Chapel, which has so many spaces, structure. So I decided to make good use of how to reach the unreachable sculpture. So I decided to study upon ramp design, which how to reach the unreachable spaces. So I tried to make rectilinear and curvature ramps, so to get more height towards the sculpture that are unreachable. So I tried to make it simple by using just stairs and also scaffolding structure to get to the level. And this is my case study on the subtraction. I choose Gordon Mata Clark because it subtract the architecture itself. So I tried to look into how the sun orientate and where to subtract it. So I decided not just subtract on the top but also on the wall itself. And this is the application in 3D model. If you want to see more detail, you can pause the video. And third is augmentation relocation, which I try to focus on hygienic and maintenance. And I've been thinking about why not we relocate nature to the site, which happens to be lack of nature. So I've been looking into wind energy for the maintenance. So the inspiration behind it is from the words engineering without engines. So I've been looking into wind blower to blow out mess at the end of the building. And it's not very efficient. So I try to look into using water instead. And case study Shishidoshi house using water flow to filter out water. Knowing that, I relocate the water tank to capture the rainwater harvesting and making a gutter design for it. And next is augmentation replicate. So my case study is the medium itself. It's an app that allows for sculpting. So I choose a shape for this practice. And there is so much exploration on it. After all the exploration, I found out that the only successful thing behind replication on this style is the furniture and also facade design. I tried to put into a structural scale, however, some are successful and some are not, which is it's too detailed and it makes it looks solid from far. So the process beginning to start more interesting by applying in the interior. Thank you.